I'm 87 years old, and I'm about to tell you something that might upset you. Everything you think you know about time is completely wrong. Your parents lied to you. Your teachers lied to you. Society lied to you. They told you that you have plenty of time, that death is something far away, something that happens to other people, something you don't need to think about until you're old. I lived 71 years believing that same lie. At age 71, something happened that shattered everything I thought I knew. What I discovered in the 16 years since has completely changed how I see life, death, and every single day I wake up breathing. I'm making this because I'm running out of time, and there are things you need to hear before it's too late. Not for me, for you. At 71, I had everything figured out. I had this successful career, spent 45 years building a construction company from nothing. I had the house paid off. I had the retirement account healthy. I had the respect from my community. I was that guy people pointed to and said, he did it right. I thought I had it all figured out. I had the investments, the security, the peace of mind. My wife and I had just celebrated our 48th anniversary. My 3 kids were doing well. I was living the dream everyone chases their whole life. Comfortable, secure, set for the golden years. I was in my doctor's office, sitting across from him in that uncomfortable chair, when he said the words that changed everything. Your test results came back. Stage 3 kidney disease. Your father died at 71 from kidney failure. Your mother at 68 from heart complications. The room went quiet. Not the normal kind of quiet, the kind where you can hear your own heartbeat pounding in your ears, the kind where time slows down and speeds up at the same time. I remember looking at the diplomas on his wall, the family photos on his desk, the clock ticking above the door. Everything looked the same, but nothing would ever be the same again. How long? I asked. Could be years. Could be decades with treatment and lifestyle changes. But you need to understand you're on borrowed time now. Borrowed time. I walked out of that office into the parking lot, got in my truck, and just sat there for an hour. My phone kept ringing. My wife calling. My foreman calling about some problem at a job site. I didn't answer. Because sitting in that truck, I realized something terrifying. I had outlived both of my parents. My father died at 71, the exact age I was sitting in that parking lot. My mother at 68, and here I was, 71 years old, being told I might have years left, maybe even decades. But here's what hit me like a punch to the chest. I wasn't grateful. I was angry. Furious, actually. You want to know why? Because I had been living my entire life on autopilot. I wasn't really alive. I was just going through the motions. And I had just been told that every single day I woke up from that point forward was a day my parents never got. Every sunrise was borrowed. Every conversation was borrowed. Every meal, every laugh, every breath, borrowed. Let me tell you the biggest lie you're probably telling yourself right now. I have time. You don't? I know what you're thinking. Sure, but I'm young. I'm healthy. I have decades ahead of me. That's exactly what I thought when I was your age. That's exactly what my father thought when he was 50, planning his retirement. That's exactly what my mother thought when she was 45, saying she'd travel once the kids were grown. They never got their decades. They got years. And those years went by in a blink. Let me save you 71 years of living unconsciously with one simple truth. Time is not guaranteed. Not for you, not for anyone. You know why people waste their lives? Because they think they're immortal. Not consciously, you'd never admit it out loud, but deep down you act like you have unlimited time. When I save enough money, then I'll take that trip. When I get the promotion, then I'll focus on my health. When the kids are older, then I'll work on my marriage. And when I retire, then I'll do all the things I really want to do. That day never comes. You know why? Because life doesn't wait for you to be ready. Death doesn't check your calendar to see if you've accomplished everything you wanted. The clock doesn't slow down because you haven't finished your to-do list. You're climbing a ladder your entire life, working yourself to exhaustion, sacrificing everything for someday, and then one day you get to the top and you realize it was leaning against the wrong wall the whole time. And you can't climb back down and start over. Time doesn't work that way. I had a friend who died 6 years ago at 73, 2 years older than I was when I got my diagnosis. His name was Robert. We built houses together for 40 years. Robert worked 70-hour weeks his entire adult life. Never took a real vacation. Missed his kids' soccer games, school plays, graduations. He kept saying he'd slow down next year. He had plans, big plans. He was going to travel with his wife. fix up that cabin he bought in Montana, learn to fish properly, spend real time with his grandkids. He had a stroke on a Tuesday morning, died 3 days later without ever waking up. At his funeral, his son stood up to speak. And you know what he said? My father was a successful man. He built a company worth millions. He was respected in this community. But I barely knew him. He was always working, always busy, always next year. Is that the legacy you want? A eulogy that says you were successful but absent? That you provided financially but never showed up? Here's what nobody tells you. Your regrets won't be about the things you did wrong. They'll be about the things you didn't do at all. My father died when I was 44. He was 71, the same age I was when I got my diagnosis. He had a heart attack in his sleep. Quick, painless, they said. Lucky, they said. We had a complicated relationship, my father and I. He was hard, distant, raised in a generation where men didn't talk about feelings. We never really connected, not the way I connected with my own kids. But here's the thing, I was always too busy to really work on it. Too busy building my business, too busy with my own family, too busy, too tired, too stressed. I kept thinking we'd have time to talk when I was less busy, when I retired, when he retired, when life slowed down. We never got that chance. And you know my biggest regret? It's not the big moments, it's the small ones. All the Sundays I didn't call him, all the times I was too tired to drive over for dinner, all the times he invited me fishing and I said I had too much work, all the little moments I let slip away because I thought we'd have more. We didn't have more. There wasn't always more. There won't always be more. I don't lie awake at night thinking about the deals I didn't close, the contracts I lost, the money I didn't make. Those don't matter. None of that matters when you're lying in bed at 87, counting the beats of your borrowed heart. You know what keeps me up? The trip to Alaska I never took because I was too busy building the business. My wife wanted to go for our 30th anniversary. I said we'd go for our 40th. We still haven't gone. She's 84 now. The window is closing. The relationship with my daughter that nearly fell apart because I missed too many recitals, too many parent-teacher conferences, too many moments that mattered to her. We've repaired it now, but I can't get those years back. The novel I always wanted to write. It's still in my head. I'm 87. Will I ever write it? Or will I die with that story still trapped inside me? The time I didn't spend with my grandkids when they were little because I was still working, still proving something, still chasing something I already had. These things eat at you. The missed opportunities, the roads not taken, the love you didn't express when you had the chance, the risks you didn't take because you were afraid, the conversations you postponed until it was too late. After my diagnosis at 71, I made big changes. I stepped back from the company, gave it to my son, not because I was dying tomorrow, but because I might have 10 years or 20 years. I wasn't going to waste them behind a desk. I started saying no to things that didn't matter. Committee meetings, business dinners with people I didn't even like, projects that were just about making more money I didn't need. I started saying yes to things I had put off for decades. Travel, hobbies, time with people I love, experiences over achievements. In these last 16 years, I've learned more about life than I did in the previous 71 years combined. What matters is embarrassingly simple. Time with people you love, work that feels meaningful to you, not to your ego, experiencing things, not owning things, creating memories, being present, really present, not checking your phone, not thinking about work, actually being there. I know it sounds simple. When I was your age, I would have rolled my eyes. Sure, but I have bills to pay. I have responsibilities. I have a mortgage. And yes, you do. I'm not saying quit your job tomorrow. I'm not saying abandon responsibility. I'm saying don't sacrifice what matters for what doesn't. There's a difference between working to live and living to work, between providing for your family and never seeing them, between building a future and missing the present. Every single day I've lived past 71 has been a gift my parents never received. My father didn't get to meet most of his grandchildren. My mother never saw my daughter get married. They didn't get the years I've gotten, and that's not fair, but it's true. So what do I do with this borrowed time? How do I honor it? If you died tomorrow, what would you regret not doing? Not what would be left unfinished on your to-do list? Not what goals wouldn't you have achieved? I'm asking, what experiences would you regret not having? What conversations would you regret not having? What love would you regret not expressing? Write it down right now, not later, now. Because here's what I've learned at 87, living 16 years longer than my parents. The things you think matter don't, And the things that actually matter, you're probably ignoring. Your career won't remember you. Your company will replace you. Your bank account will be divided up. Your achievements will be forgotten. But your kids will remember if you were there. Your spouse will remember if you made them feel loved. Your friends will remember the time you spent together. The people whose lives you touched will remember how you made them feel. Start having the important conversations today. Tell the people you love that you love them. Not someday. Today. Right now, after you finish watching this. Call someone. Text someone. Show up for someone. Stop postponing joy. Stop waiting for the right time to do the things that matter. Stop making excuses about why you can't live the life you actually want to live. Start saying no to obligations that drain you. Stop living for other people's expectations. Stop trying to impress people who don't matter. Start spending your money on experiences, not stuff. On helping others, not accumulating more. On creating memories, not building monuments. I'm 87 years old. If I'm lucky, maybe 5 more years. Maybe 10, probably less. And I'm okay with that. You want to know why? Because these last 16 years have been the richest of my life. Not because I made more money, not because I achieved more, because I finally started living intentionally, appreciating every single day for what it is, a gift. I've traveled to places I always wanted to see but never made time for. Japan, Scotland, Alaska, finally. I've deepened my relationships with my children and grandchildren. I've pursued hobbies I put off. I learned to paint, badly, but I learned. I've forgiven people I held grudges against for decades. I've said, I love you more times in the last 16 years than I did in the first 71. Here's the paradox, and listen carefully because this is important. I'm happier now at 87 with maybe 5 years left than I was at 50, when I thought I had decades ahead of me. That's the irony. When you understand that time is limited, you start to actually live. You stop wasting it on things that don't matter. You stop postponing joy. You stop making excuses. You say no to what doesn't serve you. You say yes to what feeds your soul. You create the memories while you still can. You love harder. You forgive faster. You live intentionally instead of accidentally. You have a choice, right now, today. Keep living the way you're living, chasing success, accumulating things, postponing happiness, telling yourself you'll make time for what matters later. Keep believing you have unlimited time to figure it all out. Or wake up. Realize that time is running out faster than you think. Understand that the life you're waiting to live needs to start now. Today. This moment. I can't make this choice for you. But I can tell you, you don't want to be 87 years old looking back, wishing you had made different choices. You don't want to be on borrowed time, counting the days, wondering where your life went. Don't waste decades figuring this out. Learn from my mistakes. Learn from my regrets. Learn from the fact that I lived 71 years unconsciously before I woke up. Live intentionally. Prioritize what matters. Stop waiting for someday. Someday is today. It always has been. If this resonates with you, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment telling me what you're going to do differently. Subscribe, because I have more truths to share. And honestly, I don't know how much time I have left. The clock is ticking for all of us. What are you going to do with your time?